Welcome back to In Between Cuisine. I'm Tony Hickman. So it happened. You waited till the last minute to make that reservation for Valentine's Day, and they're full. Probably because of COVID, they were only allowed 50% capacity, so it's actually kind of hard to get into some places. So, what are you going to do? Now it's up to you to make something at home to try and impress your date on Valentine's Day. But maybe you're not the greatest cook and you really don't know how you're going to pull this off. Don't worry, I got your back. Let me show you how to make a very easy shrimp scampi. One of the most romantic things, or for food-wise that is pasta and seafood. So let's combine the two, make a great shrimp scampi. It's super easy to do, super flavorful, easy ingredients, and it'll show your date that, hey, you know your way around the kitchen. So, let's get started on how to impress. So we are going to start with a pan on medium heat. And the first thing we are going to do is add some olive oil to the pan and let that get up to temperature. And the very first ingredient we are going to use are shallots. Now, why shallots over onions? Well, the first reason being they're a little sweeter. And the second reason, this is supposed to be for date night. So if you use onions, you're going to have onion breath. And of course, if you're on date night, that's not something that you want. So use shallots. They're a little more expensive, but worth the flavor, and just the texture and everything is awesome on it. So you want to add some salt and pepper to your shallots and let these cook down in your olive oil. And so you want to let these cook down pretty well. So you probably want to let these cook down for about 3 minutes or so. But I did forget to push record on my next segment, so I'm going to sit here and watch myself stir while I explain what I did. All I did was I added a little bit of butter and some chopped garlic, and added that and let that roast with the butter and the oil for the next shot. So when this video resumes, we're going to pick it up directly from there. Is why it's going to all of a sudden look so different in the pan. So apologies for that. I'll get better at that. Now that it is cooking in butter for a while, next we are going to add our next ingredient, which is fish stock. Or seafood stock, however you want to say it. You could use beef stock or chicken stock as well, whatever you like. That's just what I have, so that's what's going in. Next, we are going to add just a splash of white wine vinegar. That'll give it just a little bit of tang. And then next, because I have this huge bottle that was on sale from Good Light and Loving Vodka, not a sponsor yet, but come on guys, I'm here. Give that about a shot's worth of vodka. Now we're going to let that cook in. No need to flamboy or set on fire or do anything like that. Just let that cook in, give it a stir around, and let those flavors all get to know each other for, I don't know, I would say about 2 minutes, because we really want those shallots to cook down and become transparent as much as possible. You know, this is the sauce that we're going to be putting our shrimp into, so we don't want it like too overpowering to take away the flavor from the shrimp, but we do have enough flavor to coat the pasta with this as well. So from here, we want to go ahead and add some tomatoes. You can use cherry tomatoes if you want. I just like how regular tomatoes melt down and then will cover the sauce, so when you're eating the dish, you'll have just a little bit of tomato flavor in every single bite, whereas cherry tomatoes may look physically better, but then you're only getting a tomato when you actually stab one with your fork. My personal preference, you could use either one that you want. At this point, we want to go ahead and add our freshly chopped basil to the mix. Make sure you use fresh basil and cut up those leaves, and also a dash of crushed red pepper. That'll give it just a little bit of a kick that you want while serving this dish. And then, of course, some lemon zest. Do zest at your own leisure. Some people like a little, some people like a lot. Of course, you know me, I like somewhere right in between. Give that a stir in and then set aside. Now I have our shrimp that have been cleaned and deveined, and I did take the tails off. And the reason I did that too is because, again, this is date night. You don't want to have to worry about eating your meal and getting messy while you eat your meal and worry about taking those tails off. Go ahead and put in your separate pan some olive oil and bring it to temperature, and carefully place your shrimp into the heated olive oil, spacing out evenly as much as you can. Again, this is your own preference. You could add as little or as much shrimp as you would like. Just make sure that it cooks evenly, and it does cook quick, about 90 seconds. So, about 45 seconds into it, make sure you give all of these a quick flip. Make sure not to burn them, or else they're going to get stiff and rubbery. Go ahead and, if you want, add some more pepper and some more salt for some additional seasoning. Can't get enough salt and pepper for this dish, that's for sure. Okay, so it's been about 90 seconds, so that sauce has been sitting over here to the side. So I'm going to go ahead and bring that back in and add that shrimp directly to the sauce. Go ahead and use all that oil. So as you can see, the sauce, dried out a little bit. Now the shrimp will, and that extra oil will, thin it up just a little bit. But if you need more thickness, go ahead and use some of that pasta water. As you can see, I'm going to be using some angel hair pasta. Just cook that off camera. We've all seen pasta cook before, so I just have this in my pan. That's where it's been strained, and I mixed it with some olive oil just to give it a little coating. And we're going to go ahead and just add this directly to our sauce, and go ahead and give this a stir to try to incorporate that sauce into the pasta of your choice. Any string pasta will work. Spaghetti, linguine, fettuccine, whatever you want. I just chose angel hair pretty much because I just haven't had it in a while and it sounded good. But as you can see, the sauce is a little thin, so I should have added a little more pasta water or fish stock to that sauce, but it still came out fantastic. To plate, just go ahead and grab a spatula full of our pasta, add some shrimps, and try to arrange them in a nice, pretty way if you're trying to impress your date. And go ahead and grab some of that tomato sauce right there and put that in the middle, and try to make it look as presentable as you can. And how simple was that? I mean, that didn't take any time at all. Literally, that cook time. I mean, that pasta cooks in 45 seconds, the shrimp in 90 seconds. That total cook time, you can make this whole dish from scratch in under 10 minutes. So there we have very simple, very easy shrimp scampi for Valentine's Day. But hey, maybe that's not your thing. You want to try maybe a different recipe? My last two videos are actually perfect for Valentine's Day dinners. So you could try this one, which is the one I made from John Wick 2 with some steak and asparagus in duck fat. Very tasty, very date worthy. Or try the lobster tails ones here. I mean, probably even easier to do than the shrimp scampi that we just did. And you can make that with some mashed potatoes and some asparagus, and you have a complete meal right there as well. So give those two videos a look. Give this one a thumbs up if you like the recipe. Please subscribe below if you haven't already. I'm Tony Hickman, In Between Cuisine. I'll see you next time.